Good
Is it
morning, Bob.
recording?
Thank you for joining us for SBB Live this morning. My name's Amanda. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, I want to ask you a very important question. I want you to tell me about your very best day.
Well, let's say I've thought about this a bit, and the one I have to go back to is the day that I married my wife, who's the mother of our 8 children.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
Tell me about
that's what Nate said. He came in and looked at the pictures and said, "Are all those yours?" I said, "I think so."
Well, tell me about the day. Tell me about your wedding day.
Well, let's say first of all, I was in college when I ran into her the first time, which is a humor into itself. She came running into the classroom, slipped out from under and split her skirt.
Oh,
I was leaning on a radiator where I usually stood and kept warm, but I took my jacket off and gave it to
well, that was so nice of you.
her. Just like the knights of old.
I love it. I love it. So that's how you met, right?
That's where we met in college, and then we got married after I came out of the Army, which is another big day, come home in one piece.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah, well,
We really appreciate it.
sometimes you really wondered what it was all about, but you did it because that's what you were there for.
Yes, yes. So when you came home, did you propose then or did you propose before you left?
No, well, actually, I came home and was traveling the world, and I came through Louisville, Kentucky, and that's where she lived.
Oh, okay.
We got together and had dinner, and I proposed to her then, and she said, "Let me think about it." That threw me back on my heels. So
Oh, I bet it did. I
I
bet
said,
it.
"I knew you were going to ask it anyway." Yes, the answer is yes.
So
She
when was
was
the big day? What day was your wedding day?
uh, September 15th.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And how many years were you married?
Well, she died at 54 from cancer, left behind 8 children for me to keep an eye on.
Oh, I
That
bet
was
that
her
was
comment.
tough.
No, it was her comment on her deathbed. She said, "Remember one thing, those are your children. Make sure you take care of them and raise them." So I'm sort of combination of mother and father with them.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
eight.
now as they're getting older, I think they've inherited part of me. I don't know if I like it that much.
That's what they say. You always see yourself and your
It
children.
comes back. It's like looking in a mirror.
Yeah, like your bad habits, they come through.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So tell me about your wedding day. What was so special? Obviously that you were marrying the love
Well,
of
what was very special is I was working in Pittsburgh,
your life.
became very good friends to many of the mafia leaders in Pittsburgh. So at my wedding in a little church off of Madison, Indiana, there was one of the godfathers
Oh,
plus some of the mafia leaders. When we walked,
wow.
one of them was standing by the church, and my wife said to him, "Did you come in for the ceremony?" He said, "Ma'am," he said, "if I would have come in, the church would have fell down." So I
Oh,
dealt with the mafia all the way through Pittsburgh, New York, all that sort of thing. In fact, that's where my wedding ring came, which my children decided to tell their mother where
oh,
the ring came from, the mafia.
uh-oh.
So I was undone.
Well, I knew you had an interesting story there. You were holding back on me.
Well, no, I mean, let's say she had a heart as big as gold.
Aw.
Not only did the 6 natural children were ours, but she also gathered about 5 more that
Wow.
were exchange students, adopted grandchildren. The house was never empty.
Oh my goodness.
She just brought them all in. I mean, we have, let's see, we have a German girl who is a doctor in Germany, who is an exchange student. We had a young man from Brazil who's a head of a bank.
Wow.
These were all exchange kids.
Wow. So where are your other children living? I know you said you have eight. They've got to be scattered throughout the world, huh?
Well, no, they're actually all domestic. They stayed at home. They travel in business, but not like me.
Okay.
Basically, four of the girls live here in Cape Coral,
Oh, wow.
and the two boys, one of them lives in Minneapolis, and another one in St. Paul.
Wow. So they are all pretty close. You get to see them pretty often, just not right now.
Well, I see the girls,
Yeah.
and like I say, that's sort of like talking into a drum. It sounds like I'm talking to myself.
You did it, Bob. You did it.
Yeah, I got it home, but I don't know if I really like it that much.
Wow. Well, it sure has been
Yeah.
a pleasure talking to you. Anything else you want to
Well,
share with our listeners today about your life?
well, I hope it's impressive to somebody.
Well, it sure is impressive that you raised 8 children pretty much by
By
yourselves.
the way, you know where Kretschmer came from, the name?
No, tell me.
They were wheat germ
Oh,
people from Germany. They
very
created
cool.
wheat germ. And so my dad and his brothers, there were five Kretschmers, when they would go visit, they had to try all of these concoctions that he was putting together. Now, today, if you walk in large stores, there's Kretschmer's wheat germ on the shelf. And
Wow.
they all say to me, "Is that you?" And I said, "It's me, but I didn't get any money." Not a nickel.
Right? Well, it
So
sure.
why are you doing this?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because we're all a little claustrophobic right now and we want to stay connected with the world. And I miss talking to my seniors. It's what we do. And I can't come in and
So
talk.
you picked a real senior, right? 5 years old, I got to be a senior someplace.
Well, yeah, yeah. But I just want to be able to feature, one of my very important seniors every day and talk about their life because you have such,
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's really our history.
yeah, absolutely.
Seniors are our history. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, you know.
Yeah, most of
So
the time good.
I don't bring up the mafia very often. I don't want them tracking me.
Well, I'm glad you shared it with me.
All right.
It was nice to talk to you.
Thank you very much. You're
Thank
very looking lady.
Well, I appreciate that very much.
Well, no, I mean, hey, where beauty is, beauty is.
Well, I appreciate you joining us today for SVB Live, Bob. It was nice to meet you.
And I appreciate the experience.
Absolutely.
Take
Take
very good care.